everybody, hope you guys are doing good. Today's video is probably going to be kind of a long one. It's a review for a film I've been waiting for a very long time. I'll explain why later, but the movie's called Upstream Color. It wasn't really released in the theater, so I had to wait to get a copy, and it's written and directed by Shane Carruth, and this is his second film. And if you watched a lot of my videos, one of the movies I really liked the last few years was Primer. This is his follow-up film to that, his second effort, basically. So Upstream Color, what's the basic story? It's a very hard story to explain just in a couple sentences. Let me read the IMDb narrative to you because I thought it summed it up really well. A man and woman are drawn together, entangled in the life cycle of an ageless organism. Identity becomes an illusion as they struggle to assemble the loose fragments of wrecked lives. Okay, so the first 30 minutes is basically this woman sort of being robbed, and they set it up as like these worms. They're like grubs or caterpillars or something. And they show these kids getting high by pouring soda over them. A few minutes later, this guy winds up basically taking this girl and using this bug, which creates this psychotropic sort of effect on people, to hypnotize her. And basically, I don't want to go too deep into it, but basically he violates her. He does all this horrible stuff to her. And that's the first 30 minutes, which I thought was the best part of the movie because it's just downright creepy. The rest of the film is basically her dealing with the after effects of this, parasite. And she winds up running across Shane Carruth. He's the other male character in the movie. He wrote, directed everything in this movie, composed, edited. But he's the male lead. And it's basically kind of like a love story from that point on between them two. It's like basically two heroin addicts falling in love. It's very similar in that story. Surface, it's very simple story. Woman gets violated, people get violated. Them coming together. That's the very simple part. But it really is about the complexities of living organisms and all that, and how living things are all intertwined and all that. That's the much deeper level. These things are probably like on a quantum level we don't even know affect us and all that kinds of stuff. And that's where he touches on more of the sci-fi type effect of it. Sort of like this creepy alien. There's some serious creepy shit in the first 30 minutes. I was kind of like, and it's not blood and guts, but it's just, you think about it and it just, tightens your back up and you get kind of creeped out. There is some other very subtle sci-fi elements in it. Sound is a big part in this movie, as was in Primer. The dialogue is very minimal. These movies, Primer 2 and Upstream Color, it's all sound and visual. There's no real hard dialogue. The dialogue's just there to basically explain the little details of things. And that's really why the film is effective. I don't think it's for everybody, this type of film. I don't think Primer's for everybody. But, so I can't recommend it for everybody. But it's a really effective film. I watched Primer probably like 10 times, and I always wondered, what gets me going so much about this film? Why do I like it so much? And I think it's because it creates, through the sound and through the images and the information you're given, I think it creates like a feeling of exhilaration, of like discovery sort of when you watch that movie. And this film's kind of opposite. It's a different emotion. It's more like a somberness and like a introspection. At the end of the film, not that it's a tearjerker or anything, but it's just very like touching. At the end, I was kind of like, I went from the beginning being kind of grossed out by the parasite to at the end, you get kind of choked up with some of the kind of the intermingling of life. Maybe I'm a sap man, maybe I'm old, but yeah. So basically this film, the way to sum it up the best way is great sound. Sound plays a part in the story as well, but Shane Carruth did the music. The script is awesome. It's a very basic idea. Well, it's a high concept idea, but played out very basically, and that's very effective with the sound and all that. It lets you get into the very simple story that you can keep watching and maybe see the different layers of depth there. There is quite a bit of depth. But I don't think it's for everybody because it is kind of sparse. It's very minimal in dialogue. People are going to be, there's holes, there's this, whatever, blah, blah, blah. But I've already seen things online sprouting up of when I was researching this movie of, all the hidden meanings and all that. And there is definitely some, deeper meanings to it. But just enjoy the film for what it is. I'm going to give it 4 out of 5 stars. I know I've been kind of rambling about it, but it is a film, 4 to 5 stars, I think, for the mainstream. It is a film when you watch it, you can rewatch it and get some value out of it. And it's a movie, and it's the highest compliment you can give it, probably more than 5 out of 5 stars, whatever. I always say it's, if the movie's making you think, that's a good sign of a good piece of art, So if you've seen Upstream Color, tell me what you thought about it. Not enough dialogue. I know Shane Carruth isn't the greatest actor, but he has minimal dialogue. tell me what you thought about the film. Tell me about your little theories and details. I'm gonna probably put a link to an article I found once I read the article. How valid it is, I gotta read it first. But yeah, guys, let me know what you thought of the film if you saw it. Awesome little sci-fi concept wrapped up in a drama. Hope you guys, if you watch it, you enjoy it. All right, see you soon.